Welcome to Ed Fluential Sports, where passion meets precision. I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. Uh, Episode 27 of Sports Fanatic Forum. I am eating lunch right now as I'm doing this. So, so you see me pick up anything it is because I'm eating right now. Just got done with a donut, then I got a Lunchable that I'm gonna get into a bit later. But anyways, the WNBA draft took place yesterday, and the draft was really entertaining. It was a few things that I didn't like about the draft. It wasn't even That's not even a player thing. It was how fast it went by. And like that last 30 minutes, it was like, oh, commercial break, here goes for 4 picks. It's like I get it. It's another round, so I get you can't name all of them, but it's going by hella fast. We're not seeing no highlights of the players, so I don't like it with the NBA either. I feel like it'd just be nice if we can see some highlights of players. Some of my computer had to get that off, but like it would be just nice if we could see highlights of the players, just if it's just 30 seconds, like what we see throughout the draft, especially for some of the women that got drafted later, because I didn't know them, wasn't able to do, especially like the overseas women. So yeah, the way I recap this, I'll go team by team. I am gonna start with some trades first. Dallas Wings traded Diamond Miller to the Connecticut Sun. I'm not surprised by that with the moves that the Wings have made and the season they're planning on having. I get trading Diamond Miller. Then you got two solid rookies. We got one solid rookie and one really good rookie to add on the team, which I'll get into when I talk about the Wings. And then you had the Storm, who made a really aggressive move, trading the 2026 second and Marta Sares for Fly Johnson. I'm very surprised that Golden State did that. I didn't. I thought her going to Golden State was a great fit, but apparently they didn't think so. And she's not on. She's not staying on purple anymore. It's like I was really excited for Fly going from LSU to Golden State. She get to stay in the purple, but nope, not the plan, not the goal. That's not what they're doing. So yeah, let's get into the draft. And I'm gonna start with the Dallas Wings. Had the first pick. They get Allie Flood, who's giving you 17 points a game in college, shooting 45% from three. Also, she also is Paige Becker's girlfriend. But the Dallas Wings, we liked shooting last year, so we're getting one of the top shooters. It was other good shooters as well, but her being a top shooter is the reason why we picked her first. Her being Paige's girlfriend is just a plus because they played together in college. I know some people don't think it could work out because they're in a relationship. I have thought about Aja Wilson hitting the game winner over the married couple, and that's like that could happen to us, but they aren't married yet. So, anyways, I do think Abby Flood was a good pick. Even if she didn't go to the wing, she was going top three, nonetheless. If not three, then probably top five, just depending on team needs and depending, especially 10. Well, there's a few teams that made some questionable moves that I was really surprised by, but she was going top five nonetheless. But the Wings taking her on one perfect pick. Like I said, great 3 point shooter. I'm pretty sure that'll translate well. Then you got Z Spearman later in the draft in like the third round. She's averaged 8.5 points per game over her career, so she probably won't get too much playing time. But she'll come off the bench. She'll get a few minutes, probably in like late game, not late game scenarios. But like blowouts. That's the late game scenarios. Like in a blowout or something, she'll probably get some minutes, especially early. But as he floods, she's gonna make an immediate impact. So yeah, I just realized I didn't change the caption, but now it's there. So she's gonna make an immediate impact for sure. The Minnesota Lynx, I like what they did. They only had two picks, but for a team that's competing and want to win a championship, who are not getting the Feast of Collier back to the middle of the season. They lost in the second round last year, I think. Yeah, so you're expecting them to have another good season, even with Nafisa Collier out. It's still like they might have a decent season. Then you get Olivia Miles. She has been looking for a point guard the last few years. You re-signed Courtney Williams, which is great. You lost Natasha Heidemann, so you don't have both the stud buds anymore. But you do bring in Olivia Miles, who's giving you 20 points a game in college, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Probably won't give you those same numbers at the pro level, but she's gonna be close to that. She's a great playmaker, and she can get steals. So I really like that pick for them. But yeah, Olivia Miles, she's gonna be great. Like I said, she's gonna have to plug in quickly. She'll probably be starting right away, but I think she'll get adjusted to it well. Like I said, setting up Courtney Williams, and you still got Bridget Carlton. I think in the Feast of Collie, will be back midway through the season. So I'm pretty sure it's still a 44 game season, just like last year. So assuming that they're like, let's say in that 22 game stretch, they can go 11-11, be like the eighth seed. You bring in the Feast of Collie, that'd be perfect. Because then you could rise to potentially the fourth or fifth seed going to the playoffs. And then fully healthy, a lot of teams not messing with y'all in the W's. So I really like that pick for them. Even though it's one of their two picks, they only had two. They made the most out of that one pick, which they had second because of a trade with the Chicago Sky. In which the Sky, I'm getting to the Chicago Sky later. The Minnesota Lynx also got Lena White, who I don't know much about. She was drafted towards the end of the draft, so she probably won't get too much playing time, especially on a contending team. But yeah, Seattle. Seattle had a great draft. They added this Spain center, our fam, I forgot her last name, but Dominique Malonga was really good last year. So you're adding her. Now you got the Twin Towers to them, assuming that they'll play together. If not, she can back her up coming off the bench. But it seems like it's a rebuilding year for Seattle, so you can really test that out. You can test out, do we bring our fam off the bench, or do you start her next to Malonga and see what happens? Because it's going to be a really fun Twin Towers. Like defensively, it's not going to be, even though they're in a rebuilding year, defensively, that's going to be insane. And then you also added more defense, getting Tana Mayer, who's averaging 2.5 steals per game in college for Duke. So when it comes to on-ball pressure, deflection, stuff like that, she's going to add to your defense as well. So you get the Seattle Storm did a really good job in this. Like I said, they drafted Mara Ceres, who shot 45% from three last year. But it's like you already got your two bigs in our fam and Dominique Malonga, so you don't need another one because she is a double machine, and she can give you and she can shoot 45% from three. But you trade her and you bring back Fly Johnson to help add to that rebuild. So that's gonna be like you developing you lost Skylar Diggins Smith, Gabby Williams. So it's gonna be a tough year. Probably be at the bottom of the league, but they're gonna have some fun games. Gonna be competitive defensively. You got Fly adding her with our fam, Tana Mayer. Then Malonga's going into her second season. And Malonga, she's gonna have a few dunks. Just like Anna Raul, I think she's gonna have a few dunks this season. And so that's a fantastic move for Seattle. Then you added Grace Vandersloot, who's averaging 15.7 rebounds last year for Michigan State. So I don't know how much she'll fit in, but you still got her as well. And so Seattle, I really like their draft. I thought they had a great draft. Then to make that call to Seattle, I mean not to Golden State, however that went down, I thought that was a really good move because adding Fly Johnson, it's like you probably could have took because you don't take Fly Johnson. I mean, if you do take it, you probably don't get that center that you wanted and our fam to have next to Malonga. So really strategic by the Storm. Love what they did in the draft. The Chicago Mystics, no, the Washington Mystics. I'm talking about Chicago next, but the Washington Mystics, they signed. I didn't even notice, but they signed the assistant coach from UCLA, and then they got both of the bigs from UCLA, and I was like, oh, I see what they're doing here. So they take Lauren Betts and they take Angela Duelik. So now they got three bigs because they still got Kiki Iriafan. You still got Sonia Citron, that's one of your guards. Then you added Cody McMahon, who had the most points by Ole Miss player since 1986. So yeah, she had like 703 points over the season. So you're adding her. You got Lauren Betts and Angela Duelik. So I'm pretty sure Betts and Kiki Iriafan gonna start together. So you can get two, and like the Mystics that were in the play, if not in the playoffs, they were damn close to making it. So adding those two bigs, you got the UCLA connection. You got their assistant coach with them. You got two of the UCLA bigs. Now it's like they can play off each other. They can play with each other, behind each other, however they need them to work out. So it's like you're bringing extra chemistry to the team. It's like Sonia Citron, Kiki Iriafan displayed great chemistry last year. I think Brittany Sykes is still there. If I'm not, somebody let me know. But if you still got them, it's like this team is gonna be hard to beat. They'll definitely be in the playoffs. Then Cody McMahon, I'm sure she'll come off the bench, but most points in Ole Miss history since 1986, so she can score. She can score the ball. She can get to the basket. And she'll be backing up Sonya Citron for sure. So, and the Mystics had a really big draft class. They also got, and I think a few of these girls they're gonna end up trading because you got Candace Dreas Proper, who was averaging 13 points in college. You got DeAndrea Little Page Buzz, who was averaging a double double at Baylor. Then you got Roy Harmon, who I really like, who had four all defensive teams in her conference. Was a great playmaker, and she got the 10th most assists in women's NCAA history and D1 history. So I think you're definitely keeping Betts and Dualick because you got the UCLA connection. You got now you can add Betts and Kiki had them start together, and then Dualick comes off the bench to be the backup. And then Cody McMahon, like I said, she can back up Sonya Citron, so that team becomes really deep. And then you'll still have Brittany Sykes, I'm assuming. So then when it comes down to those other three that you drafted, I say keep Roy Harmon because she got the most defensive potential, while also maximizing her offense because she don't got to score a lot, but she's a really good playmaker. So she can set up Cody McMahon coming off the bench. They down like let's say they up 20. It's like 5 minutes left in the game. You can bring them in, let them play off each other. I think you got enough bigs, you got enough scoring. So the other two, I would probably trade them or see what you can get back. Well, yeah, they had 5 picks. Three of them, no, they had 6 picks. Three are staying for sure because three just they're must stays for the Mystics. But this is really good for the Mystics, especially if they're able to trade the two I've named. And the other one, like I said, you can keep her and develop her for the future. The Chicago Sky. The Chicago Sky been one of the most talked about teams because of the Angel Reese trade. And man, the Chicago Sky are hella funny because they had a great draft. And they made some really good moves. Uh they got Rakia Jackson. Like I said, they traded Angel Reese, but they got two firsts, which aren't guaranteed to be great. But we don't know what's gonna happen with that. But you finally get off of Angel Reese after 2 years, and now it seems like the team you're building is already what you didn't give Angel Reese to begin with. It's like the team they got now. Angel Reese didn't have any of this these last 2 years, and it's like it's hard to build with a team over 2 years. But Angel, I don't even know if Angel was expecting to be traded, but and she just felt they weren't building a good enough team around her to win, and they got off of her. Then you draft Tony Morgan from Kentucky, who I don't know much about, but I've seen her play a few times. You get Letitia Lattimore, who's giving you 6 rebounds a night, so you're still going to add to that rebounding, especially with all the moves that you're making. Like I said, Scott Smith, that was a good one. Then I talked about some of the other moves that they made in my video covering WNBA free agency. So it's like you get like Angel Reese, the team they got now. Angel Reese didn't get the last 2 years. Then you still got the other center. I'm from getting her name, Camila Cardosa. You still got her, so she's getting the best of it. She's staying in Chicago. She's still, but Atlanta and Chicago. I'm interested to see that matchup, especially with all these pieces that Chicago got now, because it's like they can't. You got Rakia Jackson too. I don't know if I mentioned, but you got Rakia Jackson and Skylar Diggins Smith. So it's gonna be really interesting to see this team. And then you got I don't know how I forgot to mention it, but your first pick, well, their first round pick, Gabriella Hodges, who was amazing in the championship game. She had 21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, but she was consistent throughout the regular season. I know a lot of people question it because, I mean, if you perform well in the tournament, you're going to get picked higher. So I don't really have a problem with that. Like, that's just natural. You're performing at the biggest stage, so you should go higher based off of that. And it's not like she was bad in the regular season. So I think adding Gabby is a really good pick for them. And now moving to Toronto. The Toronto Tempo and Portland Fire, the two expansion teams this year. And Portland got the pick before them. I mean, no, Toronto got the pick before them. And I love what Toronto did here. Their team is already shaping up to be pretty nice. You got Kiki Rice, who is averaging 15.6 assists and 2 steals. So she just like her boyfriend, Casey Wallace. They be getting on raw pressure, reading passing lanes. They know how to get steals. It runs through the relationship. They can get steals. So yeah, she's gonna be great for them. Tony Key shooting 51% from the field, solid pick. Then you got Shields from Australia, who I don't know much about, but from the highlights I've seen, she looks decent. But I don't know how much she'll play. Because it's like they are an expansion team, but they're also looking to win. What Golden State set the standard, I guess, being the first expansion team to make the playoffs. So a lot of people want to replicate that. So we'll see what Toronto was able to do. And then you got Chelsea Dunn from Davidson. So she might not get much playing time, especially being their last pick. Yeah, then the Portland Fire, they made their draft was really weird to me because it was multiple, especially the first round. This is pick 7, I think the Portland Fire had. They needed a point guard. That's what they were looking for to get in the draft, and they took Ina Martin from Spain or Iana Martin, and I was like, cool. But then she wasn't there, and I was like, oh. And then they said she was like, she might not play this season. So you pick a girl that's not even guaranteed to play, and Raven Johnson was. You could have Raven Johnson, Tanaya Watson. It's a lot of other point guards you could have took with that pick. Or if you don't want to go that route, you want to go best available, you could have took Fly J Johnson, and then it was other girls that was picked that was or even though the point guard route, it was other women from overseas you could have went with, and I was like, this is hella confusing. So, but that's a bad pick because it's no guarantee. So, and he also took a girl from Germany who was averaging 16 and 7 last year, and 7 rebounds. So at least she's gonna play. Then you get Taylor Bigby, who I don't know too much about. Golden State, their draft was just really weird to me. I think the girl they traded for, Mara Sarai, she shoots 45% from three, and she can get double doubles, so that's not a bad. It's not terrible, but I don't get drafting Fly J Johnson a trader. I mean, you take him, especially getting her at 8. Like a lot of people consider that a steal because a lot of us start still going to the top 5. But you get her at 8, then trade her to a team that has a top 4 pick. Then they didn't really do anything memorable after that. So the Indiana Fever, I love their draft. I think they come out. I think them and the Mystics actually. The Storm got the biggest steal by getting a Fly J Johnson from getting her from a trade. They got the biggest steal for sure. I think the Chicago Sky, they're winners. The top 4 of all winners: Chicago winner, Toronto. They did a good job. Portland definitely one of the bigger losers. Golden State losers. So that wraps it up for those teams as far as the winners and losers of the draft. Well, not well the teams that I covered because there's still 6. There's still 7 more teams I got to cover. But for those 8 teams, my winners and losers between them, that's what that goes to. So now we can talk about the other. And so I'm just get the Aces out the way. Their drafts don't really mean nothing because they're looking to compete and contend again. So these rookies probably won't get much playing time. Janae Barker, Jordan Obi. It's like they had picks. They had to pick somebody. That's who they went with. It didn't really matter too much. So the New York Liberty, they took Manuela Pouch from Australia, somebody I really don't know much about. So the Liberty Aces, I'm kind of neutral on because it's like I don't really know what. It's like okay, like it's not bad picks, but it's just like those teams that's looking to win championships and compete. So it's not really too much I can take away from those trades, not trades, but drafts. The Phoenix Mercury, I'm kind of feeling the same way because you got a woman from France and a woman from Hungary, so you get 2 international talents to add to your team to add some more depth. So And the international draft class looks really good this year. So, but I'm still neutral because I haven't seen them play. So it's like I'm watching college ball, but seeing these overseas women get drafted, I don't know when they're playing, where they're like I know where they're coming from because of the draft. Like I don't know how to watch these international games. So, but as long as they're playing, it's a good thing. If you're drafting somebody who's not a guarantee that they're gonna play, that's kind of dumb to me. So I know I went a bit out of order, but there's still four more teams I got to talk about. So we'll get to that once I finish this way. The Los Angeles Sparks obviously got rid of Rakia Jackson, which I really didn't understand from them, but it is what it is, I guess. This Nia Watson, who Nia Watson fell, I thought she would have went higher, but Nia Watson, she fell a little bit, averaging 14 points, 1.7 steals per game. She's gonna be great. Now, she's not gonna add what Rakia did, but you still got Cameron Brink there. You still got Kelsey Plum, so he can come off the bench, be a plug and play player. Then you got Amelia Hassett, who led the SEC in 3-point attempts and makes. So she was taking the most and making the most. So she can shoot. She can shoot the ball, and she's getting the shots up, and she's making the shots. So that's a fantastic pick. I'm really excited to see what she can do in LA and what that team is looking like going into next year, especially without Rakia Jackson. Obviously, you get back Cameron Brink, who was held, who only played 14 games, I think, but coming off that ACL tear, but she was still blocking shots when she came back. So now you get a full season of her being healthy to add with Kelsey Plum. Then you got these two rookies. They also drafted Chance Gray from Ohio State, but I don't know how much she'll play for them because it's much higher ceilings, and both the other two women they drafted can make immediate impacts. I feel like, I like what the Atlanta Dream did. Obviously, they traded for Angel Reese, which I think was a good move. And I think I made a video about it. I made a story about it. I made a video about free agency. So I'm gonna leave that. Make sure y'all check both of those out. But the Dream, obviously losing Brittany Griner, it's like you were hoping you could have Brittany Griner and Angel Reese pair them together. But since that's not the case, you drafted Medina Okai from South Carolina, who's a double double machine, averaging nearly 13 points, averaging 12.8 points per game and 10.5 rebounds per game, while also shooting 58% from the field. It might slightly dip a little bit going to the W, but if it can stay the same, you would hope like at her best she can give you 60% from the field as much as she can dominate in the paint. Her and Reese won't play together because neither one of them are good 3-point shooters, but she could definitely back up Angel Reese, be a great backup for her. And I think you still got Alicia Gray. There's somebody else I'm forgetting, but you still got this Atlanta team is still talented, and I feel like they can go super deep, even with losing Brittany Griner. It's like I still see the ceiling with this team. I think they have a possibility of going to the playoffs. They added and India Niver from North Carolina, solid role player, good defensively. I like her game. Excuse me. Then you get Keija Rain from China, who I don't know much about. It was a lot of international talent picked here, who some of them I just don't know a lot about. Then the Indiana Fever. I think I was gonna cover them. Then I skipped to the Aces, but to the Fever, I love their draft. You got Jessica Timmons, one of the top SEC shooters last season, playing for Alabama. She was amazing. You got Justine Pizzot from Vanderbilt, who could be a solid role player. Probably won't get much time. Neither one of the two I just named will get much time, but as far as development goes in the future, I think especially Jessica with her being a top shooter. I guess it's time she can definitely use her. But their first round pick, Raven Johnson, getting her at 10, her falling. You get a woman with championship DNA who's won 2 national championships. You pair her with a re-signing Kelsey Mitchell, a healthy Caitlin Clark, a double-double machine in Leah Boston. You still got Lexi Houle, who's going to come off the bench and be great. So adding her to that team that was just in the second round last year and lost in 5, I think, and it came down to Kelsey getting injured. So a team that's been to the playoffs back-to-back years got to the second round last year. A team that's going to be fully healthy. A team that plays well together. That's adding Raven Johnson. That was the biggest steal of the draft. As a contending team, getting her with that pick, that was really great for them. So I think she's just going to add so much to this team. Um, yeah, she don't got to lead them in scoring, or she don't got to lead the team in any stat. She just has to make a really big impact, play some good defense, pass the ball, find open looks for herself. So it's going to be really easy for her to do that in a system that's already built to win. If not win a championship, go on a deep run and get back to where they were at last season. Then, yeah, the Fever, really good draft. And then for the Connecticut Sun, I like what they did as well. The Connecticut Sun, they had a great draft too. They got Nail Anglama. She was averaging 15.6 rebounds and 1 steal last year, and she's won a FIBA MVP before in 2021. In 2024, she won MVP in the FIBA league she was in. So I think that's a really good pick. Then you got Gianna Nepkins, who was the top shooter for UCLA, shooting 43% from three, making 335 threes over her career there. So, and then you get Sarah Williams from UConn, who was giving you 13 points per game, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, and she was a Big Ten DPOY at one point. So that pick is really good for them. Actually, all those picks are really impactful and can all make an impact from day one. So I see them like everything that they do, they can be able to plug them in pretty easily. So as far as the 17s I just covered, talk about winners and losers out of them. I think the Fever and Sun walk west the biggest winners. Um, what a, the Fever got the biggest steal. Um, I was surprised by how good the Connecticut Suns draft was. The Sparks, I think they're winners. They had a good draft. Phoenix, I think it's losers because it's just project picks. But I don't know if that's a smart move. The Liberty Aces, I'm leaning towards. It's not even. hmm, I don't want to say lose. They're not winners, but I don't want to say losers either because they don't like these picks don't really do nothing for them. It's like we have picks, we got to draft somebody. It's like I don't see these players making an instant impact for either team because like they pretty much just. Like I'm pretty sure the Liberty are the same. No, they probably lost a few people I forgot about, but it's like the Liberty and Aces. It was like, oh, we got these picks, we got to draft somebody. So I can't consider them losers necessarily. I think Atlanta had a solid draft though. I did like what they did. I don't know the girl from China. I don't know how much she gonna play. But yeah, this was an entertaining draft. Like I said, it was not Seattle. No, Seattle was one of the biggest winners actually. The Golden State Valkyries probably the biggest loser out of this draft because I'm like I really feel like to see the logic behind why they did that. So Portland's also losers because I don't really see what the goal is. Golden State, Portland, they the biggest losers. Biggest surprise. The Addy Flood going first. That's not even a surprise. That's like you expect that. But yeah, that wraps it up for the winners, losers, steal surprises of the WNBA draft this year. Let me know what y'all think. Yeah, I thought the draft was pretty entertaining. Like I said, wish I could have seen some. Wish I would have knew some of these other players. I guess I got to get into international women's ball as well, and not just college. But that's hopefully I can find somewhere to watch the international women play from like France. and Germany and places like that. Because I didn't know a few of them. I really just didn't know at all. But it is what it is. With that being said, we can move on to the next segment for today, which is Zip's update. I gave y'all a special, give y'all an extra 30 minutes for the podcast today. Now we back to the regularly scheduled programming as I just wrapped up the WNBA draft. So, the Zips update. Talking about softball, baseball, and lacrosse today. Haven't really covered baseball or softball because I was really busy and hadn't had time to watch the games. But now that I've had time to watch, not even watch, but work the games. Because when I'm working the games, I do have to watch, and I was able to do that this week. So not this week, but the past couple of weeks, I've been able to go to the games when I'm working them, and then get some more perspective on what's going on within baseball and softball. Obviously, lacrosse, I've been covering that heavily throughout the season. So, all right, we'll talk about softball first. The softball team is 23 and 19, but they're currently on a 9-game winning streak. So I'm gonna focus on that after I take a sip of this water. I usually don't eat lunch when doing my podcast, but I had to work right after this, so I had to do it today. Well, no, gotta work like 30 minutes after this, so I wouldn't have had time. So, back to softball. University of Akron softball team is 23 and 19 on the season. Currently on a 9-game winning streak. They've scored double digits 4 times out of that 9 games. So the softball team has been really great. That won their last 3 series. They're going crazy. So now, dude, and then the record being under 500 is due to the rough start they had to the season. They started the season 1-6. Like it was just a lot of struggles early on, giving up a lot of runs. Like, excuse me, yeah, a really rough start to the season. But they're able to bounce back well. They might not be a playoff team. They might not make the MAC tournament or whatever, but they're playing really good. They're stringing things together at the right time. Obviously, 9-game winning streak, so you can tell that they were under 500 at one point because of how bad they started the season. So they finally started stringing together some wins. Obviously, hard to recover from a start that rough, but they're over 500 now. Megan Lee has been amazing. Batting wise, she's leading the team in hits with 52. I don't think anybody else on the team has 50 hits, or I think the second most is like 30 or something. And then you got 4 women with 20 or more RBIs, which is really good. So, and a lot of that is due to what's been happening post that rough 1-6 start. A lot of that is influenced by the win streak with them scoring double digits, like I said, 4 times. It was one game they won like 20-9. So the team has been playing great, multiple RBIs, and then pitching wise, it's been better recently. Maddie and Macy, M and M, the 2 top pitchers on the team, they both have over 50 strikeouts. One has 53, one has 54. So when it comes to strikeouts, we've been really good. Like I said, a lot of these stats are influenced by the win streak and just performing better overall. But it's been really great to be above 500, even if the season ends with us not being in the playoffs or anything like that. It's fine because at least we improved. At least we saw improvement throughout the season, which we can't say the same for the baseball team. The baseball team started better actually. They started 3-3 on the season, and now they're 5 games under 500. They're 15-20. They're giving up 7 runs per game. I was looking at the stats earlier, and I've been to a few, and I worked a couple. Well, I haven't worked. I've been working the softball games, baseball. I'm trying to do commentary for it, so I had to watch those. But baseball, it's been rough. Like giving up 7 runs a game, it's like you're not gonna win a baseball game doing that. Like, there's no way you can win. Yeah, you can't win like that. Like that's crazy. Giving up 7 runs a game, giving up 207 total walks, which I'm gonna divide that real quick because I didn't think about what that could be. By 35. So you're giving up 5 walks a game. So like really bad. They're still able to get a few wins, but it's nothing crazy. It's like B. Chrisman. I forget his first name, but Chrisman. He's leading our team in hits, runs, and home runs. He's doing all the work batting wise. Like nobody else is doing what he's doing, and it's like that's why we're losing because we don't got no consistency. We don't got any consistency within the roster because if one guy's leading you in hits, runs, and RBIs, it's like with the women, you got somebody leading you in hits, then you got 4 women with 20 plus RBIs, and then you got 2 women with 50 plus strikeouts. Like we got, like our defense has been solid, like fielding, I should say, because we got 4 guys with 100 plus catches to get out, so that's been good. So we do have that, but nobody else can give Crispin any help batting wise. It's like, does it really matter? Tucker B, he has 14 errors. The only person with double digit errors on the team is pitching wise, and we also have 3 pitchers who have gave up 30 or more hits. So that's 90 over 90 because they're all giving up more than 30. So that's over 90 hits given up between 3 pitchers. So it's like that's been really rough. The baseball team is not having a good season. They're 5 games under 500. Like the women started rough for softball, but they improved over the season. They showed a slight improvement. The men got worse. They showed regression. They regressed over the season. Now they're 5 games under 500, in danger of missing a MAC playoffs or a tournament or whatever for baseball. So it's not good. And then on a more positive note, lacrosse, and it's just women because we don't have a men's lacrosse team, just got women. The women's lacrosse team has improved to 9-4. They just had a very dominant win, 16-6 over Robert Morris. Who, man, it seems like anytime we play Robert Morris, no matter what sport it is, we just beat them. So yeah, and with that win, they secured a spot in the MAC tournament for in the MAC lacrosse tournament. So hopefully they can do enough to advance to the NCAA tournament. But they're going to be in the conference tournament for sure following that win. Very dominant. Um, and I just kind of talk about the season in general in the last few weeks since it's been less coverage. Because last week I didn't really talk about lacrosse. I talked about the coaching change for men's basketball. So now we back to talking about the sports that is active. And you had 5 women with double digit. You have 5 women with double digit goals currently, and 4 women with double digit assists. So the team does a great job sharing the ball, communicating with each other, and they've been great winning games. They're 9-4. Last 4 games they have a 2-2 record, but it's not like crazy. It was like they won the last one, lost before that, won before that, lost, and lost before that win, and that was coming off of them winning back-to-back games. So it's like it's been whatever. They're still over 500. Had a great start to the season. Had a 3-game win streak early in the season. They started 3-0, I think. So they're 9-4. Sienna Hedgecliffe is playing really well. 57 goals, 20 assists. Um, I don't know how some of the other lacrosse teams and girls are doing, but I feel like if it's some type of award she can win, she should be in the race for that. And then a very important stat for the women's lacrosse team for Akron is that they have 98 more shots than their opponents. So 98 more shots than their opponents. So they're very aggressive. They're trying to score as much as they can. The aggressive approach has worked out really well for them. As like I said, they're 9-4 in the season. So it shows that the aggressive approach can work, and it has worked for them. So that's been great. They're doing their thing. They've been, yeah, like they're nearly at 100. Like if they outshoot their, well, actually, I don't know if that could work like that. But yeah, when it comes to shots, to shot attempts, they're really aggressive. So softball doing better recently on a crazy winning streak. Fantastic. Baseball rough, 5 games under 500. Lacrosse going to the conference tournament. Hopefully they can win that. Don't think it's out the realm of possibility, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's wraps it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this update. No basketball or football news to cover for this week. So maybe next week we'll get some more news. Well, next week will be more baseball and softball, but we'll see what happens in the coming weeks when it comes to action sports. But yeah, that wraps it up for Zips update. Excuse me. This is gonna be quick, but bowling spotlight, a PBA New York Classic recap. This is gonna be quick, like I said. The first match was Chris Prather taking on Chris Vi. Chris Prather won 194, 171. Excuse me. So not really. Again, it wasn't great. It was like it was a blowout. It wasn't a blowout, but it was like this: the two bowlers going at it, and both guys being under 200. It's not entertaining. It's a lot of open frames. But Chris Prather did play much better in the following matchups. So I had to give him credit for that. But this wasn't a good start. I mean, he still won. So anytime you win, it's like any win. I know people say a win is a win, but it's like every win isn't a good win. It's like he got the win, so it's good that he advanced, but he won in a very sloppy way. Like he was not good in that first game. Like he got lucky because his opponent was even more bad, or even more worse, however you want to say it. But then he moved on to the second match. He taking on Bradley Woodard. He dominated that one. He played much better. Not as many open frames, more strikes. 235. He wins 235, 191. Uh, Bradley Woodard, he didn't do under 200. At least it was more than what Chris Vi did, but it just wasn't enough to even keep it close and stay in it potentially. So it really came down to about an eighth frame. This was over. He had match three, Chris Prather taking on Patrick Dombrowski. This was a really close one. This was a close contest. It came down to the final couple of frames, unlike the other two. And it was a bit of drama in this game. But Chris Prather did end up winning 243 to 226. So Chris Prather has climbed the step ladder through the first three matches. His scores improved each time. From match 2 to 1, it improved. From match 2 to 3, it improved. So that's really great. And then in the final match, he's taking on Austin Grammer, who's making his TV debut. Austin Grammer is currently in his PBA rookie year, and this is his first time getting. He won multiple qualifying matches to get here, and he secured the first seed in the step ladder. And then this is his first ever TV match, whatever you want to call it, taking on Chris Prather, who had just won 3 straight matchups, scoring improving each time. Then Chris Prather's score it wasn't even bad here. It was a 234, so it was one lower than his second matchup and just 9 lower than his previous one. But it was like 234. That's still decent. Like you've seen guys win with a 234. But Austin Grammer was fantastic. He went crazy. It's his first ever a title match on first ever TV match in his PBA career, and he got a chance to win a title, and he gets the job done. He bowled at 299. He nearly had a perfect game, but the final frame, the final roll, he got 9 pins instead of because he had got the 2 strikes, and then he needed one more strike to get a 300. He got 9 pins, and he was so close to getting it, and I was like, damn, like that's a crazy way to make a debut. Because there's been other rookies who have won this year, who've won a career title this year. He joined Brandon Bonta and Spencer Robarge as and yeah, him, Austin Grammer, Brandon Bonta, and Spencer Robarge. There's the 3 rookies to win a tour title this year. I don't know if any other rookies will, because I don't know how many other rookies are in the PBA, but all 3 of them are rookies and won the PBA tour title this year. And I was like, damn, a 299? That's crazy. So he did. He was so close to 300, 300 is even crazier, but it's 299 is still objectively crazy. So Austin Grammer wins his first ever title in his television debut in his rookie year. So very impressive because that was a 299. That's hard to do. You don't see like guys can bowl 300. We have seen it before. One of the first CW events, the first PBA event on CW featured a 300 game, which is still crazy to fathom. But it's like because I've seen it happen and seen people get close to it. But getting a 300 is not easy. Like even for the top, even for the best bowlers, it's like that's not easy to get. Like that's super hard. That's super rare too. So it's like you can do it. It's definitely been done before, and it was almost done again. But yeah, uh, I got a tough decision to make for athlete of the week because while he made history, Chris Prather also did compete in 4 matches. He went 3-1. So then athlete of the week gonna be tough because this was a solid, like a 234 will win you any other match, but this one, damn. But now let's move to hot take of the week. In spirit of the playoffs taking place today, I think this is a good time to feature this hot take because this guy's entering his first playoffs. Now, this isn't now. Like I said, all these hot takes are submitted from people that I follow or know that talk about sports. Now, now let me know if y'all want me to provide my own hot takes. I'm thinking about doing that. Maybe in a few weeks, I do my own hot take if I don't have any from anybody that's sub to me or anything like that. But I definitely am thinking, why not do my own hot take every now and then? Like I won't do it. I won't do it a lot, but every now and then I do. I give a hot take. But the hot take I got this week, another hot take from my guy Brandon. He was talking to me about Wemby, and he was saying that he thinks Wemby is great, but he don't think that he'll be a top five guy all time. Basically saying he won't be a multiple time MVP or win 5 rings like Tim Duncan did. Now this is a hot take, and I like it because this is better than your Halliburton hot take. Even though actually a few people on TikTok disagree with me about the disagree with you and me about the Halliburton thing, but it's whatever. I don't think this should be considered a hot take, but yeah, you was right about that. But I do think this one is spicier than that one, and this raised a lot more controversy because I can see both sides of it, so I'm gonna attack it from both angles. Because when you're looking at Wimby, you're looking at he's great defensively. He's a double double machine. He was top five in rebounding this year. And somebody was telling me, well, he can't be MVP because he's not top three in rebounding. He's top five and he's at four, and it's like three guys averaging 11 rebounds. So that don't make sense. But anyways, Wimby, he's a double double machine. He can get blocks at a very high rate. Like his defense is really good. The way he's able to affect shots that makes him the best defender in the league, and he's gonna win DPOY this year by a wide margin. Like it's not even close. Scotty Barnes is second, but Scotty Barnes he's not close. Like it's like Wimby, a gap, then you got Scotty, and the rest of everybody else follows. It's like man, like he's clearing guys defensively already. He's a double double machine, giving you great defense, amazing defense. He's averaging over 20 points per game, giving you 25 a night. And then he's just led his team to a 62 win season, leading them to 62 wins. Yeah, they're, yeah, 62 win season. So he's a guy that can lead. He can be the best player on a title contending team. Will they win the championship this year? Who knows? But they are a title contender, I feel like. So we'll see how I do think they get to the Western Conference Finals. So Wemby, he gives you a lot, and his playmaking. It's like he's giving you 3 assists, but you don't need him to playmake. He doesn't have to be a playmaker. And it's like an assist is not a great way to determine playmaking because Wemby is a solid playmaker. He can create for others, but he's mainly there to create for himself, and he does a great job with that. His gravity, I feel like, is unmatched for a big man. Like we don't see big men with the gravity such as Wemby. So there's so that's all the positives of Wemby. So I think the biggest negative and the reason why this hot take makes sense is because of their injury risk. You think about last year, he had the blood clot, which isn't necessarily an injury, but it kept him out for a while because he only played 46 games last season, and he missed out on an all defensive team. Even if let's just eliminate the rules requirement. You're not winning a award playing that, like playing 40 something games. You're not going to win anything, so he can't be a DPOY if he's not playing. Like he was an all star. He got all defensive his first year and was runner up in DPOY despite the Spurs not having a winning record. Because DPOY, you win that with having a winning record. But I think with the injury risk, it's like we've seen him injured this year, so he missed games. They missed he missed like 12 or 13, something like that, and he had to miss a few to manage the injury so he wouldn't get hurt any further. And he did end up playing 65 on a technicality with the in-season tournament. And so I think that's the biggest thing. It's just the injury factor is going to be super huge for Wemby. Like, can he stay healthy? And then to address the range argument, I don't think that's crazy to say because it's really hard. Like we've seen the Celtics get to the finals twice and win once, so they're one. So we'll see what they can do, and we'll see what they can do in the playoffs. I do think the Celtics get back, but in this decade, no team is going back to back. Like we've seen the the Celtics might be the only team that got back to the finals, but because the other teams haven't really gotten anywhere. The Lakers they got to the finals, and no, the Heat got back to the finals, but the Heat lost twice. The Heat got to the finals twice and lost. So it's like I could see why somebody would say. So it's like it is gonna be hard to win 5 rings in this era because you look at Tatum and Brown, you would think, damn, maybe they should be at about 3 time champs right now. Jokic got 3 MVPs. You would think maybe he got 2 rings, but it's like these. Like it's no longer the era of super teams because that's not winning you rings anymore. It's like we've seen the latest super teams we've seen recently have been failed super teams. So I don't really consider Boston a super team. They drafted Tatum and Brown, and it's got a third All Star on that team. I mean, people call Derek White a borderline All Star. That's not an actual All Star. So I don't know. I mean, when they had Kyrie, then sure, but under this iteration, this decade, I don't like Drew Holiday, Porzingis. They weren't All Stars at the time of being with the Celtics. So if a team like the Celtics can only get there twice and win it twice, I mean, win it once and maybe get there a third time, it's like it's gonna be hard for anybody to win 5 rings. I feel like because even OKC, like I could see them going back to back, but if they didn't, I also wouldn't be surprised because I think a lot of people thought the same with Denver. I don't think many people picked Minnesota to beat Denver last year. So it's like Minnesota's got to the conference finals twice, led behind Anthony Edwards, and they haven't went to the finals yet. What happens if they get to the conference finals again? Do they get to the championship if they get to the conference finals a third time, or does something have to change if they get there and they lose again? Because I personally think something got to change. If you get to the conference finals again, like you can't get there 3 years in a row and lose each time. So something's gonna have to give when it comes to the Timberwolves. But yeah, but back to Wimby since that's what the hot take is about. I can see this from both perspectives. Like I don't think this is crazy because a lot of people are saying that he'll be top 5 all time. Like it's hard to crown him this early without seeing him in a playoff series yet, which we'll be getting this weekend. And I'm glad that he's in a playoff series. He don't gotta be. It's no play in. Don't gotta go through that. What Denny and Portland got to go through. Like it's oh, this is a playoff series. You're getting either Denny or Devin Booker. So you're getting the Suns or it's the Blazers. If I'm the Spurs, I would want the Blazers more. But I do got the Suns winning that game. But I do think really this is a hot take for me because I really like this one because it can go either way. Like this Wimby had a talent, like sure, he can shoot the three too, and he's taking less while shooting 34, 35%. So he's shooting less and still shooting a solid percentage. Because he was taking 8 last year, now he's taking less, and it's like he only taking 5 this year. So much better. And he's more efficient while taking less. So that's a good thing. Like he don't gotta rely on the three. I know he'll take it because he know he can make it, but he don't have to rely on it. But do I don't even know if I agree or disagree with this one. Because like I said, this hot take can really go either way. Because on one hand, Wimby has the potential, he has the defensive tools up there with to be up there with Bill Russell and Hakeem as one of the greatest defenders of all time. Like he has that type of potential, but with injuries holding him back because we've seen this year he missed. The Spurs were able to stay afloat, but he missed multiple games. He had to play. He had to play in an unnecessary game versus Dallas to keep his chances alive for All NBA and the Defensive Player of the Year. If he wouldn't have played that game, he probably gets no awards this year. So, and then like I said, the blood clot is not necessarily an injury, but they kept him out for a significant time last year to where he only played 46 games. So, Wemby, like this hot take, I really don't know. Like I don't like to do this, but I really don't have. I don't know if I agree or disagree because from both perspectives, it makes so much sense why somebody would say this. Like it makes so much sense why you can argue against this, like I've explained, and there's so many reasons why you could argue the you can agree with it. So I don't. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't disagree or agree with this hot take. I'm kind of neutral. Like I said, I might revisit this because it really depends. I guess I would be the crown guys without seeing a playoff series first. So that's why I'm excited for this. And it's going to end the playoffs starting WrestleMania weekend. So I'm excited for it. But speaking of WrestleMania, let's talk about Raw because that was terrible. I gotta get my notebook too because I didn't feel three things already covered. EO, Kyrie Sane, that's already been covered. Oba covered that in my shorts, and Roman Punk. All three of those things already covered in the shorts I made, so I'm not talking about that. But the show, you had the who separates a contract signing? Like, we can't be serious. You separated a contract signing because it's like, oh boy, actually, I don't really. Since you couldn't do it last week, you drag it to this week. They do a contract signing. Why not let Oba have a squash match? Like I think all these companies, I think a lot. I've said it. I made a short about it. All these wrestling companies are doing squash matches the wrong way. Let Oba beat up on Danhausen for 2 minutes, just because, just so we can see Oba in a match. Because you had to beat Rusev in 4 minutes, which isn't believable to me with the way you're building Rusev now. I don't even like Rusev, but him losing a 4 minute main event, I don't think that's believable. So have him beat up on Danhausen, or he can have squash matches. Because I think he should have cut the first promo Oba could have cut is, "Oh, you eliminated me from the Rumble." That's why. That's the main reason why I accepted this because I want my get back from that. Then he could have had a squash match taking on Dan Helson or Kit Wilson or whoever the fuck because the brand split don't matter because the MFT is a solo in there. So, but yeah, Brock, he didn't even say. Brock said, um, Brock said you want to know Ova's name after this. It's like, okay, that's not really true, but at least Brock talked. So, it's like, uh, yeah, you separated contract signing. That's weird to me. That don't make sense, but okay. It's like it's not this personal. It's the feud is just them attacking each other. It's no acknowledgement of the Royal Rumble. It's the Raw before WrestleMania, and you don't acknowledge that Brock eliminated Oprah. Like I don't like it's not something that we just remember because I didn't remember it until somebody on TikTok told me, and I'm like, okay, well, why didn't they mention that on the show? Because it's not my job to remember that. You're supposed to cut the promos and tell me the story. So how am I supposed to remember that Brock eliminated Oprah? I don't care. So the only thing I remember from the Rumble is Drew McIntyre interfering, even though he was already WWE champion. And Jey Uso yeeting and Brock saying throw me out. So that's the two. The most memorable moment from the Rumble is Jey Uso yeeting and Brock saying, "Yeah, I'm done." So it was the Vision. They hyped up Speed. I'll get the. Oh yeah, then they have like a video package which was kind of dope. So Speed doing his thing. Um, LA Knight taking that pin at WrestleMania. Yeah, and Speed pinning him too. So I'll talk about that more on Thursday. But that's yeah, that segment was cool. I actually liked that. That was pretty entertaining. The first did I cover? No, I ain't covered the Charlotte Lyra match. Oh, I love this match between Charlotte and Lyra. This was a really good match. Lyra now has wins against all three. Wait, did she beat Bailey? I know she beat Becky once, and she beat Charlotte last night. I think she got wins against the three remaining horsewomen in WWE. Obviously, the Mercedes matches likely never happened, but yeah, big win for Lyra. Good way to build the tag feud. The tag feud. The story for this match is just, oh, we want the titles, and I'm not mad at that because it's like one of these feuds has to be like this, and that I'm not mad at. You got multiple top teams going after the titles. Lyra, Charlotte, they had a really good match. The Bella Twins, I'm really scared. I feel like if Nikki was clear by then, they would have said something. If not, if Nikki isn't clear, I know what they're gonna do, which is gonna be really stupid. But yeah, Lyra and Charlotte, they had a really good chemistry in the ring for their first time wrestling each other. And then Lyra, it was like, damn, when is she gonna have a one-on-one match? And she finally had it. So this is one of the positives of the show. This is probably the best part of the show to me. And then Bailey after no, Charlotte sent Lyra into Bailey, then Bailey tripped her up, and then uh Lyra she won with the roll up or like back some it was like something. I don't know if it was something similar to a roll up, but Lyra got the win. Then they started shoving each other after the match, but the match was good. They cheated to get the win. It's like somebody had to do something. So win at any means necessary because that's what the match is going to be. Because you're going to have to do something dirty to win that match on a Saturday. So that was great, and Lowry getting the win. I think that makes sense. Um, the Usos and LA Knight, that was backstage talking about speed training. That was like, and then the MFTs and Solo came there, and I was like, why are they on Raw? And then it's no time with Tonga, and then there was like LA Knight was like, let's get a practice 3-on-3 in. I'm okay. I mean, it makes sense, but it's like they couldn't get their practice in versus three Raw superstars. It's like this story, like you're building a SmackDown story on Raw that don't make sense. Like this is, like this is stupid to me. It's like the practice 6 man. I don't mind, but like, it makes sense. It's like you going to a basketball game, you're gonna practice. It's like it's WrestleMania season. It's like the Lakers. We got to practice this weekend, this week before we play the Rockets this weekend. So that understand the MFTs being the practice team is the problem. They're not employed on Raw. They're employed on SmackDown. So that, so I'm confused. And then you had even more segments. It's hella segments I got to run through. Stephanie Vicarious, she was supposed to have her interview. Leah Morgan came out there and attacked her. I'm like, okay. I mean, it was cool. I didn't really have a problem with the attack, but it was like I did want to see Stephanie say something. But they said a little bit on the mic after the attack. Then they went at it. I was like, I got scared that Stephanie knocked out Liv again. I was like, damn, they're gonna be calling her the Dubai Queen. But I think that spot went well. I don't think anything came from it. Roxanne was on the show, but it's actually cool seeing Liv away from the Judgment Day because I'm really tired of it. Like Stephanie, I don't know what. I do think you could have did a 4-way or a triple threat with Roxanne and Raquel involved, but we're not getting that. No Roxanne or Raquel at Mania, even though I think they did enough to earn a WrestleMania match. They didn't get it. Other people got it. It is what it is. But hey, they're still building that. It is the best build to me. I did think that was a good attack. The pro Stephanie waited hella long. It was like after Liv called her trash or whatever, she paused for like 3 seconds, and I was like, did she just what happened? Like it was like it was a delayed reaction, but it is what it is. Then another segment, holy, Oscar called Io Sky Rhea's sidekick. I'm like, okay, I mean that's cool. Then she set up Io and Kyrie for later in the night, and I'm like, yeah, I was actually excited for this because they set that match up, and then once the match happened, I already covered it in my short. The match wasn't really about them. So I really didn't enjoy it because it was just to build Rhea and Jade who aren't even on Raw. But okay. It's like the brand split don't matter, but at the same time, these people are on brands for a reason. So I didn't really like it, the match, which I already covered. Speaking of matches, the Usos and LA Knight versus the MFTs, which was JC Mateo, Tangaloa, Solo Sokoa. I don't have any notes for this match. I got a few. I got like Tom. No, it was Jay takes out JC, LA top rope elbow, Tama Tonga arrives. That's what I have in my notes on my notebook because I really didn't care. It's like Tama Tonga trying to break away from the bloodline, but and y'all saying that he you saying that Solo acting like Roman. Roman didn't do shit for the Usos. Solo was doing everything. Solo won the tag title for y'all, and then he was like, "Here, y'all have it." He won the U.S. title and still prioritized the family first. So I'm confused. Like he's been trying to get shit for the MFTs, but they don't appreciate Solo. So this whole he's acting like Roman when he really isn't. Like that don't make sense. And the Tongans, the Talaloa, the Filipino dude, they wouldn't be here without Solo. So he's acting like Roman and Tom was trying to break away from him for what? Because Shinsuke got in your ear. Who is Shinsuke? Like, were they in the Bullet Club at the same time? I don't think they were. They no Shinsuke was never in the Bullet Club. So yeah, they might have been in Japan at the same time. Shinsuke was never part of the Bullet Club, so that's. You had another segment. This segment actually made sense because it was to build the match. Gunther and also the Usos and LA Knight won that match. If anybody cared, Gunther promo, Seth attacked them instead, and then yeah, I mean Gunther he said what he had to. Seth Rollins was like, you jumped me twice, I jumped you once." And Gunther said that Seth can't lace his boots, which is a fucking lie, but okay. When it comes to in-ring talent, it's Seth Rollins by a mile. Like a lot of people glaze at Gunther's in-ring work, which I really don't understand. He's not ass, but it's like he's not that damn good to be like he's not on Seth Rollins level. I don't care what anybody says. Even if you're not the biggest Seth Rollins fan, Gunther's not on his level in-ring wise. So Actually, not in anything. He probably got better outfits, which is crazy. But aside from that, Gunther doesn't do anything better than Seth Rollins. So, um, what happened? Dominic complained to Adam Pearce. That don't really matter. Said the demon died. How does that work? I mean, you can figure that out. I don't. Video package for AJ Lee and Becky. I took points off because why are they not on the show? This is two times in the last 3 weeks where we didn't see AJ Lee or Becky Lynch. We only saw them last week, so it's like they're having a WrestleMania match and you're not building to it. It's a video package of stuff that we already know that happened. At least with the Roman stuff, at least with the Roman thing at the beginning of the show, it was a callback. Oh, you said you don't have friends, but here you are with Bailey at a hockey game. Here you are with Cody at a live event. It's like that was oh, you didn't need help to win your titles. What about when me and the She will help you retain? It's like at least that call back stuff, and then they still had a promo. It's like why? Like you're not even doing anything with them. The over thing already covered. Oh, the tag match with Javon and Dragon Lee versus Rusev and Jada McDonough. Really good match. Like how they building up to the ladder match for the IC title, even though you got hella faces. But this match was really good. Javon did his thing, going crazy. I like that Dragon Lee adopted the Styles Clash with them being former tag champs together and having a really good tag run. So that was cool. Yeah, it was like Giovanni hit a flying knee to Rusev, then did a suicide dive to JD McDonough. It was a lot of Javon was talking crazy too. Like that's some really good character work from Javon Evans, just talking throughout the match. Tried I really just trolling, but it's still like, but he's still doing his thing. So I rock with that. Then Javon and Dragon Lee got the win, like I said, after Dragon hit the style splash. Then Rusev he attacked everybody post match. Ray and Penta tried to come out there, he put them down. So they made Rusev stand tall, made him look the strongest. I don't think he's gonna win, but he definitely gonna have a good performance. But Rusev, he did look. This is why I said I can't buy Oba beating him in just 4 minutes if he can look this strong going into a ladder match. Like yes, Oba should have won, but damn, 4 minutes. It's like that's kind of crazy. But Rusev, he did look good. I do got to give him credit. Like this was a good match by all four guys. Y'all did their thing. Um, all the ladder match gonna go crazy. Like I said, when I do my predictions on Thursday, I'm gonna do this on the podcast. So make sure y'all tune in for that. But this wasn't. This episode was really shitty though. I give it a 3.5 out of 10 because like I said, the EO match wasn't about EO. It was about building Rhea and Jade. Like it wasn't about the story with the Kabuki Warriors and EO when that could have been a triple threat match. The William Morgan music video, I had to deduct a point for that. Not even, but number one, it's like you can even give those two. It's like 2 minutes 17 seconds. You couldn't give that to AJ Lee or Becky to have them say something. Ironically enough, that was more entertaining than anything AJ Lee has said since she's been back. But you have to build the WrestleMania match. Now, if the music video was a diss to Stephanie, that would have been hard. If he would have added an extra 30 seconds to just diss Stephanie, I wouldn't have been mad at it being in the show. But that, and she also moaned in the music video. So I don't, just like, I said, yeah, same thing that she was doing in the video game in 2K. So that's is what it is. Danhausen, anytime he appears on my screen, I deduct a point for that as well. But yeah, the Charlotte match was the best match to me. Javon, they went crazy. I still don't like the fact that it's 4 faces and 2 heels in the match. I would have put Grayson Waller in there so you can have another heel. It was a lot of segments, a lot of promos. It's like I know it's WrestleMania week, but some of these people could have had matches. Even if it's a squash match, like if Oba take on Danhausen and he squashed him, beat him in like 2 minutes, I'm not mad at that because then you can stat pad that way. It's an extra win. Or you can put Brock against I don't know what Brock against Jose Calderon or whoever. Like just have him beat somebody in like a 1 minute match just to say, oh, I gotta win heading into WrestleMania. Y'all say I don't wrestle on Raw, wrestle on Raw. Like it could be something comedic, but it's like it's still we gotta win. He dominated him. It's a squash match, but it's like a few matches. One of them I didn't really care about. The other, no, 2 of them I didn't care about. I didn't care about that Usos match either. Because Tom gonna build the next story. We don't care. People on SmackDown don't even care. But hella segments, hella promos. No Nia Jax or Lash. No Bella Twins. Like I know they building the tag stuff, but it's like Nia and Lash don't even appear. They don't even got to interfere, but at least say something in an interview or something. So I give Raw 3.5 out of 10. I ain't really. It was a few things that was all right, but for a go home show for WrestleMania, nah, that was trash. That wasn't it. It was way worse than last week. But now I can put the notebook away. I had to get that back out later for the play-in games for the NBA tonight. But moving to the injury report. Speaking of the NBA, Emmanuel quickly is currently out for the Toronto Raptors. Now he has this whole week to recover. I think he'll play on Sunday in their game. It's their game Saturday or Sunday. I think he will be good for the first round, but he did leave with hamstring tightness this past Sunday. So a tightness is better than a sprain, which I think I mentioned. So hopefully he should be good to go. Maybe he'll miss just one game, but I'm pretty sure he'll play game one. But that is something to note because the Raptors will definitely need him. They're gonna need that point guard play from quickly, and he's been in the playoffs once I think, in 2021, or it might have been in there a few times. But yeah, the Raptors definitely gonna need him. Sticking with the NBA, it's been rumors circulating that Luka could potentially return first round. It just we'll see because with Luka being out, if he can continue, if the Lakers can keep it close, keep it like I say, keep it a 2-2 series, which I know it's gonna be tough with an old LeBron, but it's like that's what they're gonna have to do to that's what they got to do. So if you can make it 2-2 or at least not get swept, then it's a good chance Luka could come back by game five. So that's gonna be really important. And if you do get Luka back, then that's gonna favor the Lakers, assuming that it's a game five. Even if they're down 3-1, getting Luka back for that last game is gonna help. It's gonna help the Lakers out a lot. And then Austin Reeves, the last NBA guy got on the injury report. He's been ruled out for the first round. It's some people speculating that he could be back sooner than what people are expecting, but I don't see it. He's been ruled out for the first round for what I know. So if the Lakers get out the first round, if they can push it to seven, pushing the series as far as we can is the most important thing for us because that can extend the potential of our guys coming back. It's going to be rough on the older LeBron being 41, playing a 7-game series in his 23rd season, but he still signed up to do it. He still has to do it. So if he can drag it, if him, Aiden, and Marcus Smart can drag the series and keep it close and push it to 7 games, you can get Luka back by game five, get Reeves back for the second round, get smacked up on by OKC, but it will be good if they are able to come back before the season ends and have a chance to at least do something. Because having a chance is better than not having a chance. So even if you do face OKC and get smacked, at least you had the opportunity to play. So Reeves, hopefully we can get out the first round. He can return for round two. So for moving on to the MLB, a few injuries I got. Um, Jackson Churio for the Milwaukee Brewers is out. He fractured his hands a few days ago, but not even no, he's been out for a little minute. But he's a center fielder for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's likely to return this weekend on the not this weekend, no, next Tuesday. They yeah, by the 21st. So he has been catching more. So he's been catching more. So he could be back very soon. Excuse me. So if he's back for them, that'd be great. I don't actually know where the Brewers are in the standings, but I can look at that and see where they're at in their division. The Brewers are what the hell are they? Oh, they're 8-7, so they're better than my Cardinals right now. No, that's not good. One of their top players is out, and they're still better than us. Okay, that's great to know. So then the New York Mets, they are. I don't know why I led with the Mets. Um, Juan Soto is out for the New York Mets. Their right fielder, he's out currently. He's also likely to return on April 21st, but he has a calf injury, so it might be tougher to come back from. So I don't know how. And then, but the New York Mets are 7-10, and they're in the National League East, which has been really weird because the Nationals are 7-9, the Phillies are 8-8, the Marlins are 9-8, and the Braves are 10-7. the National League East is really weird. I really don't know what's going on there. It's it's too much going on to be honest. But Juan Soto, him being out, being on a big contract too. But 7-10 isn't a bad start when your division is this close. It's like they're 3 games back. So yeah, so really anything can happen. Actually, both of the East leagues are super close. So yeah, they got plenty of time. They can just stay afloat and be able to win a couple of games with Juan Soto being out. They'll be set once he comes back. So moving on to the NHL, as their playoffs are coming up soon, and my NHL playoff predictions will be out on Friday. I gotta make a thumbnail for that. I haven't did that yet, but I got a couple of days. But Justin Danforth for the Buffalo Sabres, he's out with a lower body injury. He is expected to return for the playoffs, but he has been ruled out for the regular season. No need to rush him back. You already know you're gonna be in a playoff spot. You don't know what seed yet, so you're just fighting for seeding at this point, and you still got your other guys to rely on. But he should be. He's hopeful for a playoff return, so we'll see what happens with that. For the Minnesota Wild, Zach Boguson is currently out. He's day to day, so he could return tonight. For actually, I don't. I can look that up actually to see if they do play tonight. Because if not tonight, then he's returning very soon. They don't got a game tonight, but he was listed day to day yesterday, or he's been listed day to day the past few days. The Wild don't play to the Wild don't play till Thursday, I think. So, or do they? Actually, I'm not sure because they already have their. No, I somehow skipped over their game versus the Ducks tonight. So they do play tonight. He is day to day, so it's not a guarantee that he's going to play, or he could be on a men's restriction if he does play. So they play the Anaheim Ducks, which I don't think should be a super hard matchup. The Ducks are oh no, the Ducks are 42 and 32-6, so that's gonna be a competitive game. I don't know if I'll bring him back in that game. I say if you do, I'll have long limited minutes. So yeah, and then to move into a few wrestling injuries before I get to the final segment for today. Uh, for AEW, Jay White is still out. I did hear rumors circulating around the most recent pay per view. What the Dynasty? He could have came back. I predicted him to come back and win the Casino Gauntlet for the TNT title, but he didn't. Yeah, it is rumors circulating that he could be healthy because he's been out for a really long period, and I am ready to see Jay White back in action. But if he's not healed, of course, don't come back. But I do expect him back very soon. Maybe he comes back a double or nothing. Maybe he comes back this Wednesday or tomorrow at Spring Breakthrough. We'll see. Maybe he comes back on Thursday for the special collision Spring Breakthrough because obviously they can do WrestleMania weekend, so you got to move that. But yeah, I expect Jay White to be back soon. So yeah, for moving to TNA, they had it's actually not even an injury. This injury return. Casey Navarro, he had an ACL tear, and he's fully recovered from that now, fully healed. And he came back at TNA Rebellion to cost AJ Francis his match. I'm pretty sure he's fully. If he wasn't fully healed, I don't think he would have did that. So they probably gonna play it off if he's not medically cleared to compete, and they're gonna save it. They're gonna push it. I don't know what their next pay per view is, but it's gonna be something like that to where, oh yeah, we're gonna say this, we're gonna make up this report or whatever. That way we can save the match, or if not, they're gonna have KC get in a couple of matches. Probably do some because like KC Navarro can't squash anybody. Like you see his build, like him squashing somebody looks weird. So you gonna have a competitive match against like an Eric Young or something, or like a Frankie Kazarian, just get back into the ring. Then you're gonna go 1-on-1 with AJ Francis. I really hope he don't beat AJ once they had that match. I'd be pissed. It's like I know Casey got to get his revenge, but if he beat AJ Francis, he got to be a 2-on-1 or 3-on-1. He got to get Rich Swann and BDE to help him. He can't beat AJ clean. And then for a WWE, originally it was gonna be Roxanne and Liv since they were both in concussion protocol, but Roxanne, she remains. She wasn't on Raw last night, so I don't know if she's still there. Leah returned. She was back to continue to brawl. I mean, I guess they didn't need Roxanne anyways, but those were some WWE injuries. So really just Leah Morgan, since she's the one with the WrestleMania match. I ain't have Roxanne typed in my notes because she could return, but it's like also she don't have a Mania match, so I don't think it'll really matter. to put her on the report. So that's why I had Liv on here. But Liv is back. She dropped the music video. Wasn't It was all right. Like obviously, I didn't think it should be on Raw, but the music video was cool. Like it wasn't a bad music video. Like it was all right. It picked up towards the end. Like the beginning, it was a little shaky, but towards the end, I was like, okay, that's cool. But yeah, with that being said, let's talk about the Denver Nuggets. Are we buying this? The Denver Nuggets, can they win a championship again? Will they get their second ring in the Jokic era? Let me know what y'all think. And the reason I put them in this segment is because they ended the season on a 12-game winning streak. You don't. They're the hottest team going into the playoffs, so you don't see. And it's not like these wins just came against a bunch of bad teams. Like yes, a couple of the teams towards the end of the season they rested their players, but they rested players too in that last game versus Spurs. Like Jokic was the only starter playing. I think it was really just. I know the Spurs rested people, but Jokic he was the only starter playing for the Nuggets. So it's like we win or we lose, but Jokic don't play. So they're winning these games, taking in 8 of those 12 wins came against teams that are in the postseason currently. So it's not like they're going up against scrubs. Like it's 4 games where you can say, "Oh, that team they played was trash," but the other 8, it's like, yeah, OKC. I mean, I guess you can chalk it down to they were resting players, but at the end of the day, we're still seeing OKC win at with anyone. So you can't just. So we've seen end of the first season. We've seen OKC win with many different variations. Seeing them start 24-1 without Shea, without J Dub, seeing them win a few games without Shea. So these have been very important wins that they picked up in the season on a 12-game winning streak. I can remember a team last time a team was that hot. The final 12 games of the season. Like I know the Pacers and Mavericks got hot when they went on their finals runs, but that was like the entire second half of the season. This is just specifically the last end of the season on a 12-game winning streak. So I do. Is it possible? I don't think it's out the realm of possibility. I think they clinched the third seed. Now they are taking on Minnesota, which Minnesota and Denver played last year, and it went to 7, and the Timberwolves won. But they're both these teams are different now. The Timberwolves added Ayo DeSumo. The Nuggets they got rid of MPJ to add more depth to their team, which I thought was a really good move, and it's paid off. As a third seed got home court looking to get revenge versus Minnesota. So this really a toss up, but back to the Nuggets before I get to that series. You know what you're gonna get out of Jokic, Murray, and Aaron Gordon. They got great chemistry. They're amazing when they're healthy. Jokic, the top playmaker in the league as a center. Jamal Murray giving you 25 a night in the regular season, and we see him deliver insane playoff games. Aaron Gordon giving you good defense, and he's healthy this year. Like he was hurt last season, I think. So yeah, you get a healthy Aaron Gordon. And but during this winning streak, they had a plus 127 point differential in this winning streak. So they weren't just winning these games; they were dominating these games. Like it was a few close ones. It was a rough game with the Jazz, where they had to come back, which I don't really know how to explain that. I guess they just didn't take the Jazz serious because I don't know why you would. It's like y'all aren't playing for anything. So then they stormed back, got the win, but it's like they're dominating these games as part of this winning streak, a plus 127 during this winning streak. And like I said, 8 wins versus teams that are currently in the postseason. But yeah, your top 3 guys, Jokic, multiple time MVP. You know what he does for you, averaging a triple double. Only other players to do that: Russell Westbrook, Oscar Robertson. So he's doing something not a lot of people can do. Jalen Johnson got potential to do it. We'll see, but he's been amazing. Just been amazing throughout his career and in the playoffs. Like I said, Jamal Murray, this is his best regular season, but we've seen him do this in the playoffs before. So if he can give you 25 in the regular season, imagine what he can do in this playoffs. So like Aaron Gordon, like he started the season with a 50 piece, and then he gave you great defense throughout the season. He did miss some time with injuries, but he's fully healthy now. So your top 3, you know what you're getting out of those guys. Like production, you don't got to worry about that. Like you're not concerned about what can my top 3 guys in Denver do. What does become a question is the role players that surround the pieces. How well will they play? Is Tim Hardaway Jr. still going to be hitting those threes? Is Jonas Valanciunas still going to be doing a great job on crashing the glass, getting rebounds? Can Bruce Brown lock up? Can I stick Bruce Brown on Anthony Edwards or let's just or Stephon Castle or whoever or let's just say they end up playing the Lakers somehow, or can you stick Bruce Brown on Luka or something like that? Because he's your one of your best defenders, or your second best defender behind Aaron Gordon. So it's like, can you stick him on that player? Uh, Peyton Watson, he's having a really good regular season. Can he continue that going into the playoffs? Christian Brown is nice. Can he keep playing well going into the playoffs? Which I think he was all right last year too. I think he was pretty solid last year as well. I don't really remember. But then your X factor comes down to Cam Johnson. It's like you traded MPJ to get Cam Johnson, and then you opened up the cap space to get like trading for Cam Johnson. You got Tim Hardaway, Valanciunas, and Bruce. But can Cam Johnson do what he's been doing the last couple of weeks of the season? The last 3 weeks, he's been giving you great defense. He's been scoring the ball more consistently. Can he keep doing that in the playoffs? I think Cam Johnson is the X factor for this team because you got younger, you got less money, you got younger and you got more money because you're able to use that money to add more pieces. So all that money you spent to get rid of MPJ and then being their replacement, can you get further than you did last year? Because you only got to the second round. So this season, can you get to the conference finals? You got to at least get to the conference finals after making that move. Yes, I know the Spurs are great, but you're the more experienced team. You've shown you can beat them and compete with them in the regular season. So Jokic, like I said, the top three, I'm not concerned about if they can get the job done. I know they can do it, but the surrounding pieces, can Cam Johnson continue this consistency? Can he continue to be great like he's been the last 3 weeks? Because you can't, for the playoffs, you got to be great that entire time. One off night, you going home, you getting sent to Cancun. If Bruce Brown can't, he don't got to stop Anthony Edwards. Nobody can. But if he can't keep up with Ant, yeah, Ant's going past you every time. Now you got to switch. Now you got Aaron Gordon on you, and Aaron Gordon is more slow footed. Then he's slower than Bruce Brown. So then Ant can get that step. Oh, right to the basket. Oh, you know what? I see Io open, Ingles open. I can get it to either one of them. So can this first round series really means a lot? Like you got to get out the first round for sure. Home court, Jokic averaging a triple double, Murray averaging 25, Anthony Edwards and Jay McDaniels not at 100%. So if you don't win in the first round, that's embarrassing. And I do think the Timberwolves could do it if they were fully healthy. But Anthony Edwards, he's playing with an injury. If it's not an injury, then I don't think he's fully healed. So can you get past him? Can you get that done? So I do think they will. I think this team is so deep. They got some of the most depth in the league. They got championship DNA. You got guys who have been to have had multiple deep playoff runs together. Went to the conference finals in 2020. Won the championship in 2023. Got to the second round last year. Jokic 3-time MVP. Murray finally an All-Star. Aaron Gordon great defensively. It's like the Timberwolves who they got. Like who's their third scoring option? Like you got Ant, Julius Randle. It's like you got to limit them. And I think this year your favorite better because Ant is coming off that injury. It's like he's gonna be like I know he came back to get a few games in before the playoffs started, but I still don't think he's 100%. So if he's obviously gonna play his heart out, try to do what he can despite not being at 100%. But the Nuggets, can they win a second championship in the Jokic era? I think it's possible. And I'm talking about this season specifically, not in general. I do think they had a team to get it done. Do I think they'll get it done? No, I do think OKC gets it done. I'm still unsure. As far as the Nuggets, I'm still super unsure of. Actually, I changed my pick. I think I predicted Spurs, OKC in the conference finals. I think I'm gonna go Nuggets instead because I think experience could catch up to the Spurs, and I don't think they'll have. Like I don't think they could be as reliable at like Stephon Castle, Fox. I don't think either one of them would be as reliable as Jamal Murray will. So I do got the Nuggets and OKC in the conference finals. So I am changing that. So I do think the Nuggets can get to the conference finals where they should get to, but I don't think they won a second title this year. In the Jokic era, I'm sure they'll get another title, but I don't think this year is the season. So they're the hottest team in the league going into the playoffs. But are we buying this as them being a contender for or winning the championship? They're a contender for sure, but I don't got them winning. I don't think they get the job done this year. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. With that being said, leave a like on this live. Subscribe to the channel. Comment what y'all thought about anything I talked about, and share for others to see. Hey, this is the longest podcast episode went crazy for the WNBA draft. Then I have some more. I'll clip that up, have that video out tomorrow, have some shorts too. But um, yeah, long episode of the pod. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.